Quadratics, page 9, problem 8e. For each of the following quadratics, find the axis of symmetry, axes intercepts, coordinates of the vertex, sketch the quadratic. One good way to get most of this information is to use the quadratic formula. Okay, the quadratic formula gives you the axis of symmetry, it gives you the x-intercepts if they exist, it gives you half the vertex. So let's do that. We're going to take the equation here, and we're going to identify what's A, what's B, and what's C, and then we're going to put it in the quadratic formula. So remember, the quadratic formula is negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. So negative 4 plus or minus 16 minus 4 times negative 3 times negative 1, all divided by negative 6. So it's equal to negative 2/3, actually 2/3 because it's negative 4 divided by negative 6, so it's plus 2/3, plus or minus the square root of 16 minus 4 times negative 3 times negative 1, so that would be 3 times 4. So that would be 16 minus 12. So inside the square root, it's a 4 divided by negative 6. And so this 4 is actually, square root of 4 is 2. So it's actually 2/3 plus or minus negative 1/3. Okay? And what you could do is, I mean, since it's plus or minus, it doesn't really matter that this is negative. We could just like take out the negative sign. Instead of being plus or minus, it'll be minus plus, but it's the same thing, right? Okay? So one of the solutions is going to be x equals 2/3 plus 1/3, which is just 1. And the other solution is going to be 2/3 minus 1/3, which is 1/3. So those are the two x-intercepts. And the way you could find the vertex x-coordinate or the axis of symmetry equation is the first term. Because if you notice, the first term of the quadratic equation is actually the same as the equation for axis of symmetry, negative b over 2a. So we know that actually the axis of symmetry is at 2/3. So the vertex is at 2/3 comma something. We don't know what the other one is. And the axis of symmetry would be x equals 2/3. And here are the x-intercepts. What about the y-intercept? Can you find the y-intercept? The y-intercept, what you do is you just put x equals 0 in to the equation, and then you get y equals 0 plus 0 minus 1, because the first term is going to be 0 when you put x in there, and the second term is going to be 0 when you put the x in there, and negative 1 is left. So the y-intercept would be 0 comma negative 1. So now we're going to graph it. We've got plenty of points to graph. I think the only thing we didn't figure out was the y coordinate of the vertex. The way we can figure that out is we can put 2/3 into this equation, and then we'll get, let's see, let's do that here. So that would be negative 3 times 2/3 squared. 2/3 squared is actually 4/9, right? Plus 4 times 2/3, which is 8/3, minus 1. So that's the y coordinate of the vertex. That'll give us, let's see, 3/9 negative 4/3 plus 8/3 minus 3/3 equals, let's see, that'll be negative 7. It'll be 1/3. So the y coordinate of the vertex will be 1/3. So I'm gonna draw this differently. I'm going to, let's see, how about if I put the axes like that, and then let's see, this will be equal to 1. Okay, and so this will be 1/3, and this will be 2/3, and this will be 1. And let's see if we can graph this now. Okay, so the y-intercept was 0, -1. That's way down here. The vertex is 2/3, 1/3. That would be 2/3, 1/3. That would be here. That's the vertex. The intercepts, the x-intercepts would be 1 and 1/3. So I think we got enough points now. So we'll draw it like that. Okay, that's it. No more for this page. Okay.